What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity on the HermitCraft server. So, since last episode, I've been kind of looking at our blood altars here, and I wanted to see what it took to get ourselves to the next stage over here to the tier 6. So we need to get crystal clusters to place on top of these pillars that I'm standing on right now. And in order to get the crystal clusters, we have to get like life shards and demon shards. I think that's the right ones. Anyway, we have to get those items, and the only way you can get those items is by doing the demon invasion, which is like this crazy thing that is very deadly and very costly. So we might look at doing that sometime in the future. We're not going to do that today. But one thing that I did notice is that in order to make that ritual, it requires 15 million LP in your LP network, which is a lot. In fact, that is so much, it's more than what we currently have at a tier 5 level. So if we grab our thingy, the divination sigil, and we right click, our blood network is completely full. We're at 10 million LP, but we need 15 million to make this ritual. So I was looking at how you get 15 million LP. Well, apparently there are runes of the orb. These guys right here. So runes of the orb expand your blood network so you can put in more blood in your LP. Or I'm sorry, so you can put more LP in your blood network. That makes more sense. So this item requires 2 demonic slates, and then it looks like all these different orbs. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to use up these orbs, or if these just stay and we just need 3 of them. And some stone. I haven't actually tried crafting these yet, but I did get 64 demonic slates made. I was crafting a whole bunch of this stuff earlier. Man, this thing takes forever. I had to put in so many runes of sacrifice here, so I didn't have to keep clicking my orb as I was crafting those things. So we were able to just leave a few speed runes in here to help speed things up. But man, even with those speed runes, like making these demonic slates takes like 20 minutes or something. It's a long time. So I was just like watching a video or something while that was going on. But anyway, we needed to get some blood orbs here, so I have some extra master blood orbs and a magician's blood orb. Let's go ahead and throw these in the workbench over here, the crafting station, and we'll split those up, and we need stone. Let's grab 2 stacks of that. Hopefully I don't have to make all these different blood orbs. I hope not. Okay, good. It leaves them there. So we'll just make half a stack of those. We don't need this many, but, you know, it's always better to have a little extra than not enough later on, right? So this is the altar that is putting blood into our blood network, or LP, using our Archmage blood orb and our Well of Suffering down there with our witches. So we're gonna have to replace some of these runes with these other ones. So I think what I'm gonna do, let's grab our Resonant Exchanger. I was using this to replace the speed runes and the sacrifice runes over there earlier when I was doing my crafting. So we will go ahead and right click on this guy, and let's get rid of these speed runes. I put these here because I wanted some more sacrifice runes and I didn't want to craft them for over on that side. So if we look now, oh yeah, look at that. We are putting more blood into, or more LP into our LP network. That's awesome. Okay, so I think it was like 25 of these that we needed, but we made half a stack. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and replace a bunch of these. How many do we have left? Let's put these on the hotbar here. 23? All right, so we'll just go ahead and replace maybe like this inner ring. Something like this. I think we'll leave it like that. So we have all the sacrifice runes, so the witches down there are making more LP. And then we have these runes here, Rune of the Orb, which is allowing us to put more LP into our blood network. Right. So this will go on over time. I think that each one of these adds 200,000 LP to the network. So yeah, I think it was like 25 that we needed. But we just added just slightly over that, so that's fine. This will fill up over time. We can go ahead and do other things. We're not going to be able to do this ritual today. It's very expensive. It's going to take a lot of time. So I think we're done with blood magic for the time being. Now there are some other demons, the tier 2 demons, and we have to make the tier 2 altar to spawn them. But again, I don't think we're going to mess with those today. What I want to do, let's head down into the void. Kind of random. One thing I noticed the other day is that we can see these guys. These are our nodes from Thaumcraft. And we aren't using any Thaumcraft stuff. That's just the draconic stuff. So, yeah, I saw these the other day, like right after we upgraded. I pointed that out to D-Max, like, hey, I can see this thing down in the void. What is going on here? And sure enough, why is there a hole here? Oh, there's a light. And sure enough, yeah, we can see these orbs. So, I was flying around earlier, waiting for my stuff to load in here. I was flying around earlier here in the void. Where are we on the map, actually? Yeah, that's where we want to go. And I was trying to look for one of the... I'm going to hit F3A. These chunks aren't loading. I was trying to look for one of those hungry nodes, because I wanted to get one of those going if I'm ever going to start into Thaumcraft. So I was kind of like flying around, looking at these different nodes, trying to find one that would suck me in and then like start doing damage to me. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find one, so I don't think there's one anywhere in the vicinity of my base in the explored chunks around here. Like if we go to the minimap once again, we zoom out. Yeah, I've kind of looked around all over here and in the center as well, and there are no hungry nodes. But I'm sure there would probably be one somewhere around if I wanted to take the time to go explore. But one thing I did see is over here by our forestry area, I was kind of flying out this way a bit, looking for more nodes, just kind of exploring a little bit further out. Yeah, look at this. Butterflies. This is why I wanted to cap off my area over there where the trees are. So these guys aren't flying out into all of my unloaded chunks and just hanging out. We don't want these guys around, really. Yeah, that's the problem with butterflies that we had before in the past, is that we would spawn them. Oh, I was seeing the particles from bees over here. We would spawn them, we'd spawn butterflies that fly off, and then they would like hang out at unloaded chunks. And over time, you get thousands of them hanging out over there. I didn't want a repeat of that, so that's why I had decided to roof off our tree area over here before. Yeah, that reason. Okay, so Thaumcraft stuff I want to get into eventually. We didn't find any hungry nodes around here, which I was kind of hoping we would be able to, so we could start off on the right foot with that, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I think what I'm going to do, I think we're going to not work with Thaumcraft today. I do want to get into it a bit, but I think what I want to do today is do something a little different, play with a mod we haven't played with in a very long time. I want to look at IC2. IC2 has changed a lot since the last time I looked at it. There's UU matter fluid, and you need that to make iridium. This stuff right here. So I have plenty of iridium ingots from advanced solar panels, and we got a lot of this iridium ore from another one, Bites the Dust, and this one from nether ores. This stuff all transforms into this iridium ingots from advanced solar panels, which will allow us to make some of these advanced solar panel things. But I would like to try and get to the point where I can craft the ultimate hybrid solar panel from IC2, or is there one higher? Yeah, the quantum solar panel from advanced. So this requires 8 ultimates into one block. That's crazy. I want to try and get here. This is like the really end game, late game stuff. And I haven't messed with IC2 in a very long time, so I wanted to see what we could do here. Quantum generator. I don't know. Yeah, we could also get into this armor and stuff, but the problem is, like I said, we have a bunch of iridium, but it's the wrong kind. We need this kind here. So this will work for some things. This is what we mostly need, and we can't convert between the two, unfortunately. So we need UU matter to make this stuff. And yeah, it's going to be kind of complicated. I've never done this before, so it's going to be a learning experience as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright guys, we're going to be starting down the rabbit hole of IC2. I know it's going to be very complicated. We're going to be looking at a lot of crafting screens. Please bear with me. We're going to be setting up auto crafting for most of this stuff so we don't have to deal with it. But one of the first items we're going to need is this item called a scanner. And a scanner requires iron plates, reinforced glass, electric motors, illuminators, advanced circuits, advanced machine casings. All these require like these plates and stuff. Basic machine casing requires iron plates. We can get that by smashing an iron ingot with a forged hammer. Yep, a lot of different things here. We're going to need to get a compressor to compress into advanced alloys. I think that's the only way. Whew, there's a lot of stuff to go into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the basics. I am going to go ahead. Let's go into like this electric motor, for instance. Copper cables, copper plates. So we need copper ingot plus a forge hammer. We need to make a pattern for a forge hammer to start with. Oh, what? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. So let's go ahead and create that pattern. We will make one of those. Yep, we're going to have to go through each one of these because I do want to get these auto crafting. There's no way that I am going to do all of this crafting by hand. That's crazy talk. So we'll go and make one of those. We have that so we can make another pattern. So we need a pattern for shears. We need a pattern for iron plates. We'll make one of those. Come on. Well, you know. Oh, I can't make that. Why can't I make that? Is it because it's going to use durability on the forge hammer? Let's go ahead. Oh, I didn't even make a pattern for the hammer yet. Oh, the hammer's in my inventory. What am I talking about? Iron. Yeah, sorry. This is confusing me as much as I'm sure it's confusing you. We'll do that. So that makes us a plate. Did I make the recipe for the iron plate? I didn't. So let's grab iron. Yeah, I was thinking I could craft this, but the problem is this thing is actually just like a ghost image. It's not the actual forge hammer that's down here. So we'll go ahead and make that pattern. So now we got one for copper and iron. We'll keep going here. What else do we need? We need to do a copper plate plus cutter. So let's make a pattern for cutters. There we go. Okay. So I think I'm going to have to find a spot in our auto crafting stuff for all these things. Nothing. I wonder where these nothings came from. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, so we will put all of our IC2 stuff down in this journal area. I think we'll put our tools together just to keep them kind of together. Right, so now I should be able to make cutters. Oh, actually, I can just make them. Oh, I can't make them right there because I have to make the iron plates. Okay, so let's make the cutters. Next, start. There we go. So now that I have cutters, I can tell it to make this recipe. And what other, I'm not sure what other one of those are we going to need. Are we going to need like other cables? Cable. So there's copper cable, there's gold cable, HV cable. I should probably have it make the gold cable too, while we have the cutter still untouched and we can still make these patterns. So I tell you guys what, yeah, this is this is gonna take a while. In fact, I think I need to remake that pattern. I think that might be bad because it has NBT data on it. I think we have to make the fresh one and then make these patterns. I don't know. I'll figure this out. I'm gonna start making all of these recipes, all these patterns, and we will be right back, guys. Man, oh man, I forgot how much crafting is involved with IC2. There's just so many recipes. This is what I've done so far. So we've gotten all these done here. I've made all these different wires. We made mixed metal ingots. I've crafted some of these bits and parts and things that we're gonna need. Thankfully, pulverized coal works just the same as the macerated coal that you would normally get with IC2, like when you put coal into a macerator. I've pulverized a lot of coal previously for some other reasons. But anyway, we need that pulverized coal for this raw carbon fiber. And then we can convert that into one raw carbon mesh with 2 of these. So yeah, it's quite a bit of coal. I think it's 8 pieces of coal per one of these, or is it 4? I don't know, whatever. We had to make some basic machine casing. So yeah, lots of stuff so far. So I was going back through the recipe for the scanner, what I was doing to make sure I had everything. I would click on the scanner and then I'd shift click this and that would fill a terminal. I was like, okay, so what am I missing? So yeah, advanced machine casing. We're gonna need refined iron plates, advanced alloys. The advanced alloys is that mixed metal ingot if we compress it. And then basic machine casing and this carbon plate. Carbon plate is compressing these raw carbon meshes that I made the patterns for. So we're gonna need a compressor. So I made a compressor. Well, I made a pattern for the compressor. I have not made the compressor yet. We got it right here. I think it's time we make one of those. So compressor. We'll go ahead and make our first IC2 machine. So start. And that was pretty painless. Okay, so this says this requires EU. I'm not really sure how we generate EU in this pack, but one thing I do know is RedNet cables is supposed to convert between different power sources. Yeah, this is the MFR RedNet cable. So if we take this, we do this, and then we put a tesseract down, hopefully we don't blow things up. Wait a second. Is this the right cable? I'm thinking about it now. Let's see, RedNet cable. It might be this stuff right here, RedNet energy cable. So we're gonna need some okay, yeah, that's what it is. I'm sorry, the other RedNet cable is specifically for redstone. This is the stuff we need. Oh, what are we missing? Redstone block. We do have a recipe. I was like, we don't have a recipe for that? Let's just make up 100 of those, start. Okay, we just need one for right now. Okay, we will start with 6 of these cables. That should be more than enough just to experiment. Hopefully this does work in such a way that I think it will. Okay, main base power, low, energy mode, receive only. Whoops, this other one. Turn that off. Okay, so does this have power? Oh, it does have power. Information. Compatible upgrades. Overclocker, transformer, energy storage, ejector. Right. So the upgrade slots. I remember those from a long time ago. Let's do... Wait, is the mixed metal ingots the ones we can do in this? I can't remember. Let's cook up 10 of those real quick and see if that's actually one that will go through that machine. I think we're going to have to do a lot of processing through it. So there's 6 of those. That thing makes some weird sounds. Okay. Well, we're gonna need some upgrades here, I think, because that is super, super slow. So, overclocker upgrade. So the overclocker upgrade requires these 10K coolant, which is a coolant cell, which is IC2 coolant. Oh man. Is there another way to do this? No, what's IC2 coolant? I actually don't know. How do we make IC2 coolant? Okay, so it might be something that I'm just gonna have to look up on the wiki or something. So we are making our advanced alloys. I'm not sure exactly how many of those we're gonna need, but we're making those now. We're also gonna have to compress some coal down. Oh, we could go ahead and make our pattern for the reinforced glass. Yeah, we're gonna have to compress some coal down because I do believe this one, yeah, the carbon plates. So, mesh. Yeah, if we make, I don't know, 10 of those, we'll go ahead and get all those done as well. That should be, yeah, pretty quick recipe here. So I will go ahead and wait for these to complete. I'll look into more about the ICT coolant so we can make those upgrades, and then I'll go ahead and get this raw carbon mesh done, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, further down the IC2 rabbit hole we go! Woohoo! So, in order to get the IC2 coolant, we had to make this fluid / solid canning machine. Now, I was just trying this a moment ago, trying to make the coolant, and I ended up getting water cells just by putting water into empty cells. Now, it turns out there's actually other modes here. Yeah, fluid enrich, tank or cell. This is the mode we need. So this is going to take our empty cell, combine it with water, we're going to enrich it with a product, and then we should get our IC2 coolant. Well, we have to enrich that with lapis lazuli, as it turns out. So, do we have this? We actually even have this stuff ready to go. You know, I made that a while ago, and I wasn't sure what we were going to ever do with it. Wait, why is it doing something? Oh, is it? That's going to fill up this tank over here. I see. Okay, so let's put these empty cells in here. Actually, that might not be the right thing. If we, well, let's see what happens. If we put cells there, does it do anything? Aha, so there's coolant cells. Okay, so that's how we make the coolant. But in order to make those empty cells, we had to make a metal former. And we have to put in the tin plates here. They get extruded through this machine. One plate turns into 3 cells, so now we have a few extra cells. So yeah, we do have to use the lapis. It looks like it's using a decent amount of it. maybe 8 pieces. Yeah, that's actually a decent amount there. Okay, so I'm going to continue on doing this stuff here. I'm going to figure out how to get this coolant down. In fact, I might just be able to right-click on this machine. Shift right-click. Maybe I have to do it with just one. Well, I'll figure out how to get that fluid out of the machine, and we'll be back, guys. See you in a bit. Oh man, guys, so I finally got these upgrades made. I made a bunch of these overclocker upgrades. I made some energy storage upgrades. I made some transformer upgrades so we can get power into the machine faster. This stores more, and this is so we can go a little bit faster while we're doing stuff. So I was taking some of these steel ingots that we got from Railcraft, just putting in the metal former. That's creating these refined iron plates. Now these are used in other recipes, but I just want to show you that I was making them that way. I don't have any good ways to make steel just yet. I did see that we have another one bites the dust steel in here, in raw ingot form, and this stuff looks like we can take this and we can put it into the induction smelter. I believe with Cinnabar, we get 3 plus 1 100% of the time on the secondary output. So we can make 4 steel per steel ore with some Cinnabar. I think that's how we're going to do that. So we can go ahead and craft that stuff over here. But when we need more iron, or I'm sorry, when we need more steel, I will go ahead and do that. For now, we should be able to make our scanner. I should have all the bits and pieces ready to go. It's a lot of stuff that goes into this thing. Requires the advanced machine casing and all sorts of crazy stuff. But we can go ahead and make one with the click of the button without having to craft anything. That's awesome. Okay, so now we have this guy. And this looks really complicated. So what we need to do is make ourselves what's called a crystal memory. One of these guys. This looks like the raw version. This is what we need to craft. So it looks like we have obsidian, and then we have silicon dioxide. So we need to make ourselves a thermal centrifuge, and we need to put clay dust into the thermal centrifuge to get silicon dioxide. How do we get clay dust? We macerate clay. Can we put clay in the pulverizer to get the same thing? Let's find out. If I don't have to make the macerator, I'd rather not make one. So let's see. Nope, it won't let me put it in there. So it looks like we're going to have to make a macerator. We're going to have to make a whole bunch of other stuff. That thermal centrifuge or whatever that was. Oh, man. All right, guys. So I tell you what. I've done a lot of crafting today. There's a lot more crafting to do. Hopefully, most of it's already been taken care of. Like, I have made so many patterns for this stuff. I was wondering what I was going to fill in all of my interface terminal spaces with. But yeah, here we go. So all of these patterns are the things that I have made today. And all of those have gone into those 4 machines with some upgrades. Oh my goodness. So, like I said, I'm going to work on some of this stuff off camera. Hopefully next episode, we'll be able to actually dive in and start making UU matter and copying iridium and all of that stuff. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.